Sure. RJ, let's go to your topic.
It's important to find a balance between traveling when you have the time and money and traveling simply because we have the opportunity. If you're in the travel game, you understand how to look for opportunity, how to find opportunity, but sometimes that opportunity has a financial cost that maybe we shouldn't pay. So we see a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I got this amazing redemption and I put this $2,000 of extra because they got the redemption on the hotel and they had to buy the flight or they got it on the flight and had to buy the hotel, but it's on a zero APR card, so I'll pay it off." Okay, but you just did a sign up bonus for another card and you got to pay that one off too, or you just said you did that with another card like 6 months ago. So, like, how would you suggest, and this is not for the three of us specifically, because we're all, I think, in a little different stage in our lives. We are the old people that yell at clouds, which is fine. But how would you suggest people who are getting in, like they get that little hit, they get those redemptions, and now all of a sudden all they see is the opportunity, and it's super easy to swipe your card, hit that sub, or oh, I'm going to take the 1500 on the sub and do this a great hotel redemption. Just buy a flight. It's fine. It's 1500 bucks. It's fine. Matt, what is your advice for the youth and the newer people in the game to not seek financial ruin as they dip their toes into the travel game?
One, um, know always whether or not you're using money or points, you should always budget things out. If you have a pool of 50,000 points, stay within your pool of 50,000 points. Don't book to 70,000 points and say, oh, I'll just buy the other 20,000. It's fine, no big deal. Like maybe I'll get a good deal on that. Okay, you might, but those 20,000 points have an intrinsic cost associated with them. Well, they have an explicit cost associated with them. Um, you can't bet on that 20,000 points, and that's more money coming out of your pocket than you need to because you need to do the thing past your set budget. If you can make the trip happen, certainly make the trip happen. I'm not going to tell you not to take the trip, but if you have to ask yourself or put yourself in the position of take the trip or take a pretty big hit financially because yes, I got the redemption of a lifetime on the airline, but like the hotel is going to be $1,800 that I don't necessarily have at the moment. Is it worth doing that to you? Usually we'll say take the trip, but take the trip within your means. Is there a hotel that's $900? Is there not a hotel option at $900? Is there a hotel option at $600? Can't just be 1,800 or bust. Um, so as with all things, you have your financial budget, obviously, but you also have your points budget. And we will tend to overvalue our points budget a little bit just because we know how far we can get with our points. And that can also lead to some different some issues as well because then you're like if you tell yourself, oh, well, I have to get 3 cents per point. If I'm not getting 3 cents per point with this particular point, it's not even worth it. And now you're going to pay cash when you could have settled for a 2.5 cent per point redemption or a 1.7. Gosh forbid, God forbid you take the 1.7 instead of the 3.4. Um, yeah, you're going to use twice as many points as you usually would, but it's not money. It's less. It's almost no money out of pocket. And if your concern is money out of pocket, stay within your points budget to make sure that no money comes out of pocket, or as little money as possible comes out of pocket. With flights, it's at least $5.60 in domestic on domestic taxes. If it's international flights, you got to take your international taxes into account because most times your points are not going to be able to cover your international taxes. There are airlines that allow it. You're not always flying those airlines. You got to keep that in mind. Your hotels, got to make sure that you are sticking to your points budget on your hotels as well. If you've only got 80,000 Hyatt points, but the vacation requires 240,000 Hyatt points, maybe look to do that vacation in the off season. Maybe look to do that vacation another time if that is the only way that you are going to do that vacation. Now, you should be flexible. You should look into alternatives. The 80,000, can you get closer to 80,000 by doing a different hotel in the ecosystem? No. Okay. What other ecosystems you have points in? Can you make it work that way? No. Okay. What's the least amount of money you could do it for if you have to do money? Maintaining a monetary and point budget is always good. We always try to shoot for the stars and get the most amount of money for the least amount of points. It's not always going to be that way. So like staying flexible and being able to maybe take a little haircut on some cent per point instead of maximizing 8-15 cents per point on the flight. If you can do it, great. If you can't do that yet and you're not at that level and you don't have that percentage of that number of points, take the lesser redemption if you can still take the trip, or pass up on that trip because the next time it comes around, you're going to be able to do it.
Very good. Lonnie, you and I are on team take the trip.
Yep.
I think that's firm. But there are times when I think even you and I would both say, hey, maybe don't take that trip.
So going back to your question, the first thing between time and money is that the old adage, time is money. So treat both of them as such. Your time is money. But yes, there are times when you shouldn't take the trip yet or right now. The first is don't go into debt. It's not worth it. If you don't got it, you don't got it. You can't have it if you don't have it. That's the way that I look at it. And so if you have a trip and it costs $7,000 and you ain't got $7,000 that you can spend and still pay your rent or your mortgage or your car or your food or for your family, you won't got it. So don't be like, I'm just going to put it on a credit card and I'll take care of it later. You can't take care of it now, so you can't take care of it later. So don't go into debt, and definitely don't do buy now, pay later. Have you seen what's happening out there with that stuff? Don't do that. Don't put it on buy now, pay later either. So how do we avoid that? Set a budget. It can be with cash or it can be with points. So like I said, if it's a $7,000 trip, we all have jobs of some way. We all make income in some way, shape, or form. However long it takes you to earn or save up that $7,000 or earn the amount of points to cover that $7,000 or the trip for itself, do that and set a budget. Even if you have 15,000 and you're like, I only want to spend 7,000, set that budget as well. So you don't just go burn off 15,000, as Matt was saying. Like, there is a difference between cent per point and getting a decent value and just getting raked over the coals in value. Don't get raked over the coals. Let's have slightly more willpower, if you will, in that regard. The way that I like to say it, how do we get to that point? I prefer to use points miles to pay for my trips versus actual cash out of pocket. Don't pay twice for a vacation. The point stack king of the point stacking right here. No, I'm going to just be out and say it. Like, don't pay twice for your vacation. Every month you have to pay for your roof. You have to pay for food or gas, utilities, electricity, all these things that you have to pay for. Use these to your advantage, because after you pay for all that and you hit burnout and you finally want to go take this trip, now you got to go pay for a vacation. That's the pay twice part. If you were to use these credit cards and these reward platforms, programs, tools, and resources like shopping portals, travel portal, dining wallets, these types of things, you can actually earn points faster for stuff you're going to spend anyway. And that way, when it's time to take that vacation, you've already paid for it. You paid for it through all your other everyday spend, and now you can use those points and miles to actually take that vacation. The next thing, plan ahead. It's okay to want an aspirational trip. It is. If you want to backpack through Europe, or you want to go see the Grand Canyon, you want to go, see Tokyo Tower, whatever it is, whatever your aspirational trip is, I don't know. It's okay. Just plan for it. And if you plan for it, everything else that I mentioned will automatically fall into place. And the other thing is that if you plan for it and just take your time, say you want to go right now, but depending on your income and the way your bank account set up, I don't know, it could take you 2 years. It could take you 5 years, whatever. If you actually just plan for it, put it in that back pocket, save up, put whatever strategy you have into place, in 2 to 5 years, whenever you actually take it, will make that trip so much sweeter than going into debt or burning every single one of your points or miles. It's okay to say a trip is expensive with cash or with points or miles. I recently did it myself. Hey, my family, my wife and I wanted to go to this one, take a trip for later this year. And we're like, yo, why are the point redemptions so high? We're going to burn like all of our points, not literally, but we're going to burn the majority of our points. Like, plan B, let's go somewhere else. It's okay to say it's expensive, but that's part of just being responsible, planning ahead, figuring it out, creating a strategy, all that other stuff. So you can make the time and the money work for you, but don't let it be the other way around. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't try to keep up with us. Between just the three of us, myself, Matt, and RJ, we are three different people, three different lives, three different incomes, and three different travel strategies, and three different travel goals. And yet we find ways to do it. And if at any point I try to keep up with RJ, or RJ tries to keep up with Matt, or Matt tries to keep up with me, that breaks everything. So we are here to help, educate, and inform, not to create envy or jealousy in any way, to be like, oh, I got to do this because now I'm in the game. Take your time. Take your time. If you just got started, for y'all that just got started, maybe one or two cards in, or like you finally clicked and it was like, no, I'm going to go search on YouTube for credit card travel channels or whatever. And you're like, I want to get in this game. It ain't going to happen it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take you some time. So take the time for yourself, because as I started off, your time is also money as well.
Yeah. And if you're, 5, 6, 7 subs in and you've got a good cache of points and you blow it all on a bunch of like, oh, I want to stay at the Waldorf, that's great. And if you do 4 nights at the Waldorf and then have nothing left and you don't have any other spend, like maybe you had 4 really good nights, but then you're sitting there going, oh, how do I make 500,000 points now? And once you do some of these subs, you're not getting them back. So
Yep.
it's strategic trip taking can be better than immediate gratification.
It's like the Vegas hotel rule. The first time you go to Vegas, the majority of us, it could be a couple of y'all out there, the majority of us aren't staying penthouse on the strip at all. Some of us are staying maybe slightly a block away from the strip, or the far south of the strip, or the far north of the strip, where you might have to walk a little bit. I don't want to shoot down any Vegas hotels. You might have stayed at the Link, okay? You didn't stay at Bellagio. But then a couple of Vegas trips later, you're like, oh, Bellagio's in swinging distance. You might be staying at Aria, whatever. And that's what I like to say. It's like, in most cases, we all start traveling and we're all at a Holiday Inn, a Days Inn, a Super 8 at one point in our lives. And if it weren't for staying at those damp hotels with why is the floor wet right here moments, like I just ruined my socks, how I would never love the Conrad that I love so much, or the Intercontinentals that I love so much. And so you got to pay your dues in some way, shape, or form. You're not just going to come out, like RJ said, start off at the Waldorf. Trust me, you'll get there. You might not have to stay at the Super 8 or at the Hojo, but you'll get there. It might just be a stay bridge. You'll get there. Trust me, just take your time and you'll get there.